Hi there, I'm Dr. Claire Eagles, clinical psychologist, and in this module I'm going to tell you what I think are 3 of the most important benefits of mindfulness. The goal is for you to understand the potential benefits of mindfulness and know what is happening in your brain. The focus of this video is how mindfulness calms the stress response. So we all experience stress in our lives. To understand how mindfulness can help you with it, it's important to first know how stress changes the way we think and behave. Stress is the uncomfortable feeling you experience when your perceived ability to deal with a demanding situation is outweighed by your perceived ability to cope. Triggers can be external, for example work demands, or they can come from inside you, for example having the thought you're failing to meet your goals or expectations of yourself. By stress response, I mean that the body releases stress hormones called adrenaline and cortisol that create automatic changes. The term fight, flight or freeze refers to these changes in your mind and body, which are often experienced as a rapid heartbeat, breathing more quickly, muscles tensing, watching out for more potential threats and having the urge to run away. And as you can see, these sorts of consequences get in the way of many aspects of living. For example, when you need to concentrate on finishing a project to meet a deadline, you may notice your stress levels go up, which makes it harder to concentrate because you're thinking about the worst case scenario if you don't get it done. This is the exact opposite of what you need in that moment, which is sustained mindful attention on the project. So why do we have the stress response? Essentially, the stress response sets us up well to cope with dangerous situations. The brain prepares us to either fight, run or stay still in the hope that the danger will pass. The problem is the brain hasn't evolved enough yet to make a more nuanced response to small stressful situations. Really dangerous situations and small stressful situations are processed by the brain in the same way. And this is because the part of the brain responsible for sensing danger is an ancient part of the brain called the amygdala. And when the alarm is turned on, it triggers the automatic reactions of the fight, flight or freeze to protect us. And it works on a better safe than sorry basis. And its job is to act fast. It doesn't have time to work out whether the danger is real or imagined, small or large. When the amygdala sounds the alarm, the rational part of the brain, our prefrontal cortex, gets drowned out by the noise. Let me give an example of this in action. A few years ago, I was burgled when I was in the house with my children. I heard a very loud bang from downstairs, which was the sound of someone forcing open the window of my front room, and I heard them come into the house. If my prefrontal cortex had been in charge, I might have analysed what to do before taking action. But luckily, my amygdala was in charge and came online, and instead my brain and body switched automatically into fight mode and I ran down the stairs shouting, "Get out!" The burglars ran away once they realised someone was home, and at the time I wasn't thinking with the logical part of my brain, which is a slower process. My amygdala had automatically taken charge of the situation for me. One of the reasons mindfulness is such big news is it's a great technique for helping the body and the brain to calm down in both small and large stressful situations. Mindfulness activates the soothing systems of the brain, which switch the brain out of the stress response mode, and in the process your sense of well-being and the ability to think clearly is restored. The part of the brain that's used during mindfulness plays an important role here, and this is called the insula, and it's the part of the brain that receives messages from the 5 senses: sight, sound, touch, taste and smell. This region is also associated with self-awareness and empathy. So try this now. Put your hands on your lap. Notice what you can feel. Is the material soft or is it rough? I can feel the warmth of my legs through the material. And when I rub my hands up and down, I can feel the slight bobbling of the material. I'll give you another moment to notice what you can feel. So in that moment, we were switching to using the insular part of the brain, and you were being mindful. The most important thing about the insular is that it can help the communication to work better between the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex, so that the logical part of the brain can be invited to support the amygdala and help to make useful decisions about how to act when you're stressed. It's that moment of pause when you're feeling upset and you deliberately take a deep breath instead of reacting automatically. Every time you stop and notice something through your senses, your insula is being strengthened and thickened. This happens with regular mindfulness practice. In the long term, a robust insula helps your brain to cope as effectively as possible with perceived dangers. Another positive change to your brain that helps to calm the stress response is the reduction in the size of the amygdala, which means that the alarm system is less likely to turn on unnecessarily. So essentially, mindfulness is a hack for keeping the rational part of your brain online in stressful situations, helping you to think more clearly and act more effectively. Who doesn't want to try to shape their brain so it works for them rather than against them in stressful situations? Mindfulness of the breath is a technique for calming the stress response, and I'm going to take us through it together in a really short exercise. There will be more in-depth look at the breath and how to breathe deeply to switch the amygdala off when you know it's a false alarm in a later video. So if you can sit up and adopt a self-supporting posture, this helps you to open up your body so you can breathe properly. You may need to bring your back a little away from the chair to achieve this. Your feet should be firmly flat on the floor. Place your hands on your lap and close your eyes or fix your gaze at a single point in the room. Focus your attention on your breath as it flows in and out. Notice the different sensations of each in-breath and out-breath. Just observe the breath without trying to change it or alter the breath in any way. You're not looking for anything special to happen. Your mind will wander, and when you notice it has, gently bring your attention back to your breath without criticizing yourself. The action of noticing that your mind has gone off and bringing your attention back without judging yourself is the very practice of mindfulness. Your mind might start to become calm like a lake, or it may not. It may actually be choppy like the sea. And even if you feel a sense of calm, it may be temporary. If you're feeling stressed or upset, notice that. That feeling may be temporary too. By coming back to the breath, you can be open to what the next moment will bring. Whatever you notice, allow it to be there without pushing it away. I'll let you do this for a few moments on your own, and I'll tell you when the exercise is over. The exercise is finished. You can open your eyes and return your focus to me. If you'd like to try another exercise, please download the bonus audio file which will guide you through mindfulness of breath and body sensations. This will help to calm the body and will help to improve the connection between the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex. So that brings this session to a close. Have a go at practicing the breathing exercise. A suggestion is that you practice at a time when you're feeling good and you build up to using it in a stressful situation. You learn to swim in a small pool rather than the ocean. Leave a comment to share your experience with others. And don't forget to listen to the bonus audio for extra practice. See you in the next video when I'll tell you about how to use mindfulness to build your capacity to focus.